Steve Blair with TeaTime Productions here with my day in the life special for you. I literally haven't gotten out of bed yet. This is right when I've woken up. So basically what's going to happen today is you're going to follow me around as I go about my day here at home, and you're going to learn a little bit more about me on a personal level through that. Basically I'm just going to take the camera around with me all day, and whenever I think there's something noteworthy going on, I'll turn it on and I'll start recording, telling you about what's going on. There will probably be more filming going on here early in the day than later in the day, but again, periodically throughout the day I'll film some aspect of my day, and you'll get to know how it works when I finally get a day off. This actually isn't a really typical day for me, because normally I'm working every day except for Wednesdays and Sundays, and on those days I have to go and see my fiance all the time, and I spend the day with her doing whatever. It varies from week to week. So this is actually out of the ordinary, me getting a day where I can just stay at home and actually spend time with you guys, which is nice, honestly. I love my fiance, but let's be honest, when you spend so much time with someone, you want some time, apart by yourself. So, well, let's just get the day started, I guess. Let me turn this around. There we go. Oh, yeah, my bed's really squeaky. It's a futon, so spring mechanisms are squeaky. I'm gonna turn on my computer first before anything. Shit. Man, look at that. My Rubik's Cube box is still there from when I filmed the Rubik's review a few days ago. Well, it was almost a week ago now, actually. I'm gonna turn on my computer here. So, usually the first thing I'll do when I get up, whether it's a day at work or not, is I'll turn on my computer and I'll do my usual rounds, checking all my sites that I'm on, like YouTube, of course, Facebook, Twitter. Although most of the time not much has changed, it's still worth checking, because, there are times when I have gotten comments or views or whatever. So I check that usually almost every day. This is my room. It's actually pretty messy. It's pretty disgusting. I got my pyramid sitting up here, a bunch of junk. Over here is really dirty. You never see this in the videos. You normally only see this area, maybe right here. Over here is so messy because these are going to be the centerpieces for the tables at my fiance's wedding. We are decorating those. They're not done yet. I was actually supposed to work on those the last day I had off, but I ended up getting hospitalized. More on that later. And that was actually the day I was originally going to film that. This right here, though. This is something interesting. This is my Mad Hatter hat. I'm hoping that'll make a cameo in another video one day that actually, has purpose, instead of me just putting it on and saying, here's my hat. Well, let's get started with checking my stuff. Okay. This section of a typical day in the life of Steve is honestly one of my favorite parts, because I like to check up on you guys and see what you've done and said for me. Or otherwise, I'll check on a lot of your channels too. Doesn't look like I have any notifications. Let's just go to the channel and check. Yeah, it doesn't seem like much of anything's changed. Let's go to Facebook, get a new tab while we're at it. I'm gonna go and check all my usual channels, see what news has been going on. Yeah. Looks like I have something on Facebook. Could just be something personal, though. It doesn't need to be anything about YouTube. Alright. Ooh, Endless Justin something. What did you do? What you gonna do? I'm gonna have to check that out. Endless Jess is my favorite YouTuber of all time. I definitely recommend anybody check him out. You can go, my subscriptions are shared publicly, so you can go into my subscriptions list and find Endless Jess. He is absolutely the best in the world. That's just about all I need to check right now. Yeah. Yeah, I just got a message here. What is this? That Purple Scope 139 sent me this link on Facebook. I don't know what this is. Apparently there's different like Rubik's Cube style puzzles here. It's called Button Base. Apparently this is the dubstep cube. Not sure exactly how this works. Go to Twitter. Find out that nothing has changed here. Only 3 people follow me on Twitter. Why don't you guys follow me on Twitter? Go to my Twitter page and follow me, damn it. I need more people in here. I mean, I have 30 likes on my main Facebook page. I'd like to have some more here. Alright, so a little bit of time has passed and now we're gonna head out of my room. I opened the door beforehand, just mainly because I have to carry my tripod too, so I wouldn't have to worry about opening and closing my door. Well, I'm still gonna close it. My dog can't be trusted. She's always getting into my garbage, so hold on a second. Okay, the door is closed behind me, so let's head down there. Okay, now I can see it a little bit better. Now you guys have seen the living room a couple times when I set down my tripod. Daisy, I'm going to set this right next to you. That's my basset hound who has made a couple appearances on my channel before. I'm sure some of my more loyal viewers will remember Daisy. The old basset hound. I'm going to put the TV on mute. There's no reason that needs to be. Okay. Hey Daisy. Hey Daisy, quit ignoring me. You're lumpy. You basset hound, whatever. Now this dog over here is an American Eskimo named Kita. We actually inherited this dog from my late grandpa after he passed away. This was his dog. Kita. He's really old. He's gonna go soon. We all know it. He's 13 years old. So yeah, he's definitely up there. What are you doing? No, I'm Kita's favorite. So again, you guys will remember the living room from a couple videos, just mainly update videos. You've seen I filmed from this angle, you've seen the couch, so that's just about all of the living room you guys have seen. I don't think you guys have seen my kitchen yet. But this is usually what I'll do. I'll get up in the morning and I'll head straight over here to either get some coffee or tea. But which one do I want this morning? Alright, in that last shot you may have noticed this. If you're wondering what this little metal piece is, I'm actually having loose tea right now. See that? You open up this little thing, it has a little arm. I don't really want to open it right now, but I can kind of demonstrate a little bit. See if I squeeze on this how it opens a little bit there? You can open that up all the way and then get some loose tea leaves in there. And then you just, close it up. And you can steep it that way, rather than using a bag. That's a good way to get really fresh tea. Right over here is the pantry, of course. Excuse my hand. There we go. And inside of it is my tea collection. A very big amount. Let's move this over to here, I guess. But anyway, everything you see in this corner, which I will give you proper focus on in a second, is tea. There's even more buried underneath in the pile around in here. There's a very large amount of tea. And believe me, that has been pointed out to me. Sunny M1LK has seen this tea collection before. I sent him a picture of it over Facebook chat one night. Yeah, it's a lot of it, hence my name, TeaTime Productions. A new small tea company that I've actually met the owners of personally, Caina Tea. Hopefully we'll be seeing more of their tea in future Tea Time episodes. I'm thinking about featuring them rather than the Brighton Tea Company now. Partly because their tea is better, and partly because I liked them better as owners. They actually talked to me, about my channel. They actually subscribed to my channel, and one day I might be able to actually have them as a sponsor, so that'd be really nice. So here's my tea collection. I actually have many different loose teas that I can actually show you right now. A lot of them are actually from the Caina Tea Company, so that'll be interesting. Here's what I could find of my loose tea. I actually had a couple more bags from the Brighton Tea Company, but I don't know where they went. They could have gotten lost in the downsize for all I know, but here they are. Here's all your Caina Tea Company in the front. This was from another company I'm not quite sure the name of that I got also at the Renaissance Festival here in Michigan. This is from the Renaissance Festival as well, I should point that out. I haven't tried this tea yet. It's called Fairy Tale Tea. I don't know, I'm kind of weirded out by it because I didn't notice until I had already gotten it home. This has catnip in it. It's kind of weird. I don't know, it probably relaxes you or something. Here's what I got. This is a tin of loose jasmine tea. We got a bunch of different teas straight from China here. Hold on, my phone's ringing. Okay, sorry about that intermission. I got a call which unfortunately required me to leave the house for a couple hours, so it is a couple hours later, but still, be that as it may. Alright, where was I? All these teas are straight from China, like I said before. The one I'm actually drinking now, the cup is over there. Yes, I do still have that tea even though it's been a couple hours. I believe is this one. It's the Golden Monkey Wild Drone Mint. I don't name like Golden Monkey. It's weird, but it is actually really good. It has a really honey-like scent to it, and I'll talk more about that maybe in the Tea Time episode where I'll feature that. But these are my loose teas right here. Again, I wish I could find my Brighton Tea Company ones, but whatever. These are all pretty good. I'm probably going to try this one later. So back in the living room now, usually on days like this, the rare days that I actually have off to myself, I'll spend, usually, ideally relaxing. I'll sit here in the living room, watch TV for a while, I'll go and actually catch up on other YouTubers rather than doing this, which is actually, these are my best days for filming, so usually I do a little bit of filming if I don't end up in the hospital like last time. This is probably a good time to talk about that. Last week I think it was either last week or the week before that, can't really remember. I had a Thursday off just like this, and I was going to do this video then, but when I woke up in the morning, it was about 6 or 7 in the morning, I had just the most intense stomach pains that kept going on and on for about 6 hours, and finally the pain just kept getting worse and worse. It was excruciating. I finally told my dad that we needed to go to the doctor right away. It's not even like that I was really worried about what the problem was at that point. I was just in so much pain that I wanted the doctor to stick me with something to get the pain to go away. I was just like, I'll take needles all over me, I don't care. Just stop this damn pain, it hurt. And they did. It also made me fall asleep for the rest of the day, but it worked.
There were a lot of theories as to what it could have been, anywhere from a stomach flu to appendicitis and everything in between, maybe a bleeding ulcer. We never really got a sure answer, but the most likely answer is that it was a stomach flu, since I am completely fine now. There's no, lasting effects to it. I'm not dead, so it can't be appendicitis. But, so I have today to film all day. It's gonna be great. I'm not sure if you guys can hear that beeping, but looks like the school bus is here from the neighborhood. I live in a subdivision, so there's a lot of houses around with a lot of little kids. I remember when everybody in this neighborhood used to be around my age, but it seems like most of the people that are around my age, the kids that I grew up with, have all either moved away or just drifted apart, like my neighbor across the street. We don't talk anymore. We didn't have a falling out, we just kind of stopped talking years ago. Because one day we hung out, said see you later, and we never talked again. It's kind of weird. But, whatever. Most of my fans are like 12 now, so what difference does it make?
And now for something completely different.
Okay, most of my processes for making videos starts here. Obviously. Let's see if I still have it in my recent documents here. Yes, I do. Usually my videos, not the ones like this or like normal vlogs, but most of my main projects will start out like this. I'll spend sometimes multiple days writing a script. This is one that was a request. It was how to tension your speed cubes. I kept getting people asking me how to do that. So I finally wrote a video about it. I figured just doing a tutorial on that wouldn't be enough of a challenge, so I actually made it into a Steve and Steve skit. So I'll be doing that. This is basically the same tutorial, just with a framing device around it of Steve and Steve arguing. It was just supposed to be a simple thing, turned into a full 3 pages, so that's fun. It would be more if I actually wrote out some of this stuff. The processes for tensioning the cubes were so repetitive that by the time I reached the 5x5, I just put a note here saying just improvise it, because it's basically going to be the same exact instructions as every other cube, because it's so damn easy. I don't understand how nobody knows how to do it. But I digress. So yeah, I'll spend a lot of time writing. I put a lot of attention to detail into my formatting of my scripts. You can see where each one of the Steves has a line that's in bold. I have italicized text for any kind of action that's going to take place that's not words. So like if I want to note that one of the Steves says something from out of frame, like this particular bit of italicized text says, then I'll put that in italicized. A lot of this stuff, like at the beginning, it says text fade in from black background, all that kind of stuff. That's just explaining the processes. I'll put into a excuse me. I'll put into that. I'll actually put these right here. You see that's 3 asterisks. I'll use that to actually separate between scenes. That's a scene change right there. So I have a whole format for my scripts, which is great. It really keeps it organized. And then after that, usually during the writing is actually when I'll figure this out, but then I'll usually take the time to figure out what my angles are going to be before I even start filming. So I'll come over, like, either pretending to hold the camera or actually holding the camera. Like, here's my tripod, I'll kind of hold this up here and be like, is this the angle I want, I'll actually take the time before I even start turning on the camera, figuring out maybe this is the angle I want. And again, most of the time, I have a vision in my head for what I want it to be beforehand, but I will actually go around the room, kind of mime what I'm supposed to be doing, kind of like do a rehearsal, to kind of figure out how the camera is going to be placed within this space, because it's really not that big. I really don't have much room to work with, especially with all this over here. So I try to, kind of budget my space a little bit and work around the mess, because these tripod legs are so tiny, so usually I can kind of, put it between the junk, and it can stay back. Like, that's how I did the Rubik's Cube thing. You'll notice the shots that are like that, kind of like around here. I'll actually have the tripod legs back into this mess of stuff. so I'll have enough room to kind of do everything I need to do in here. There's a lot that goes into the video making that people don't realize. Before I even turn on the camera, there's sometimes multiple days of writing. There's sometimes, I don't know, like 45 minutes of just trying to figure out what the angles I want to do is. There's rehearsal. There's actually doing the shots, and you know, you may think it's easy, but sometimes these shots take 3 or 4 or 5 takes sometimes to actually get right. And then after that, you got to edit, which takes a long time. My Rubik's Cube tutorial that I just did, which is the video before this one, unless another vlog gets up before this, but most likely it'll be the one right before this one. That video was only 10 minutes long. It was a little bit, I think it was 10 minutes, 22 seconds. And might as well turn this around to face me, I guess, since we're not really looking at anything. That one was only 10 minutes, 22 seconds long, and it took me about an hour and 20 minutes, so it's about 10 minutes for every minute of video, on average, to edit. So you're looking at 3-4 days just for an average video, you know, sometimes. For big videos, you know, like sometimes like even my skit that I did, Help Me Help You, actually took like 2 or 3 days just of the writing, and then a few hours for all the angles, and then a lot of those shots took sometimes 6 or 7 takes, not all of them, but some of them. And then it took a little while to edit together. It took actually a couple days to edit all that together just because I wanted to take the time to make sure I had all the cuts just right down to the millisecond. It's not like I just said, okay, I'm not talking anymore, put a cut here. I would actually go frame by frame and figure out which frame would be the best to cut on and all that. Maybe I'm paying too much attention to detail, but that's the kind of stuff that goes into this. And then after that, I have about a day of uploading to do because my internet is slow. So sometimes making one video, even this simple video, is probably going to take a couple more days till it's actually up online for you guys to watch. So yeah, a lot of these videos will take up my whole week, even the simple ones. I mean, look at my blind commentary series that I made that nobody watched, even though it was actually a request from you guys that I do it. It's fucking stupid. Anyway, each one of those, that's the reason I stopped it, is because not only was I not getting any kind of attention for it, it's not even just that, it's that I was doing all that work, getting nothing, and I had no time to do anything else that people would actually respond to. I would actually get comments, views, and likes and all that. So it was taking away all my time for the stuff that you guys apparently actually wanted to see. So I stopped doing it just so you could see more of stuff that you're actually going to respond to. Okay, that was for you that I stopped it. Because each one of those episodes would take me about 4 days from start to finish. It would. I mean, that's including the uploading time. So, you know, a lot of, you know, like a day that was uploading. But it'd still take a long time. I want to emphasize to the people who don't make videos how much actually goes into even a simple vlog. It's a lot of work, so appreciate your YouTubers for what they do. And you know, you'd be amazed how much artists influence artists. A lot of what I do, at least, I wouldn't say, you know, the whole videos themselves, but a lot of the little twists and the details I'll put into my videos are inspired by other YouTubers doing their own videos. And I'm sure the twists that they put into their videos are inspired by others, and so on and so forth. I'm sure, you know, somewhere down the line somebody had to originally come up with the idea, but you'd be amazed how many YouTubers, if you talk to them, will tell you that this scene or that scene or this little detail about it or the way they said this or that was actually inspired by another YouTuber or another performer. It doesn't have to be YouTube. It could be a TV show or a movie or whatever. But a lot of what I do is actually inspired by others on YouTube. So even when I'm relaxing and watching YouTube videos, a lot of times I'll be thinking, is anything in this video something I could use myself, you know, as inspiration? It's not like I'm going into videos saying, what can I pilfer from this, you know, and take as my own. Because I fully admit when I'm referencing somebody else. Especially Endless Jess, who I talked about earlier. You guys who've been watching me for a while know I reference Endless Jess quite a bit. I mean, I'll go on there. You know, I got a lot of subscriptions. I'm sure you guys have seen my long subscriptions list on YouTube. I'll go from channel to channel, watch different videos, and even if I am just doing that for entertainment, something will happen, and I'll be like, you know, that would be a good idea. I should probably do something like that. Or sometimes I'll actually, when I hit writer's block, you know, for whatever reason, or I can't think of what to film, I'll actually go on here and I'll watch videos from a lot of my favorite YouTubers for the sole purpose of getting inspiration for my own videos. And again, whether I say it in the video or not, I don't claim to take all the credit for what I do as my own. Because pretty much everything's been done already, let's admit it. Even if I do think of something on my own, even if I come up with a thing that I do in my videos completely on my own, I guarantee that somebody else has already done that thing, whether I was actively referencing them or not. So, you know, you can find inspiration in just about any video on any channel. I mean, we can click on a random one of these. I mean, fucking number file. We'll click on number file. This is an educational channel about math. I've actually gotten inspiration for stuff from them. At this point, I can't really remember what it was. But I have gotten inspiration for videos from that. I do remember now, it was between Numberphile and Vsauce. I got inspiration for a cubing series, which I haven't actually started yet. I have part of a script written that I haven't finished, and it was probably about a month ago that I started it, so it's been kind of on hold. But yeah, Numberphile and Vsauce, two great channels that I actually, combining the two ideas, got a great idea for a series for. See what I mean? This is just the power that other YouTubers, you know, can have to influence others. And it's really amazing when you think about it, that kind of influence, even if, whether they're bigger or smaller, you know, more talented, less talented, it doesn't matter. Anybody that does something that's unique, you know, can give you that idea, you know, to do your own twist on it. And it's really, for me, for when people base something they do off of me, which has happened more than once, and they tell me that, it's not something like, oh, you know, you stole my idea, you know, go burn in hell. It's not like that. I actually think that is, you know, like, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, and I really do believe that. So when people emulate me one way or the other, I don't know, I guess I'll just say it, since for lack of a better term, it warms my heart to really, you know, think about that people watch me and they think, you know, I think I'm going to do that thing that he did, and it's going to be really cool. I don't know, it's awesome to me to think that I influence people like that, because I've influenced people that I know personally, you know, to pursue things that they enjoy. I've influenced other YouTubers to do, you know, new different things. I've changed the way that YouTubers will make videos. You know, a couple of YouTubers have actually kind of followed my format after meeting me, which is really cool. I love, you know, that I have that kind of influence on people. Well, that's it for this TeaTime Productions vlog special. This has been Steve Blair with TeaTime Productions, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
This tea fire though. Can I have another cup? This tea fire.